ASEAN+3. Did you know that ASEAN doesn't have only 10 countries, in addition to cooperation within the international community, but also has partnerships with outside groups? ASEAN+3 Cooperation Framework started in December 1997.
ASEAN+3 refers to the 10 ASEAN countries that have cooperation with other third countries. By convening of an informal summit among the leaders of ASEAN, with China, Japan, and the Republic of Korea. Joint statement, the leaders resolved to strengthen and deepen East Asia cooperation at various levels and various areas, also focus on economic and social, political and other fields.
Political security cooperation aims to promote cooperation, trust and maintain peace and stability in the region, against the backdrop of the 1997 Asian financial crisis. The formation of an East Asia Vision Group was proposed. China is one of the ATP groups that seeks to expand and tighten progress in the political and cultural sector.
The Vision Group explored ways to expand and intensify the long-term cooperation in political and socio-cultural sectors, including economic development. The APT process continue as a main vehicle towards the long-term goal of building an East Asian community with ASEAN as the driving force. ASEAN+3 versus the finance and economic cooperation.
In finance and monetary cooperation, continues to be on the implementation. Japan, one of the APT groups, clarifies the policy on trade between ASEAN. In finance and monetary cooperation, progress has been steady and the focus continues to be on the implementation of the Chiang Mai Initiative Multilateralization (CMIM) and the Asian Bond Market Initiative (ABMI). The CMIM is now being supported by the new APT Macroeconomic Research Office (AMRO). Total foreign direct investment (FDI) flow from the +3 countries into ASEAN remained on an upward trend. The leaders noted the adoption of the ASEAN framework for regional comprehensive economic partnership. Korea have to expand and deepen its ties with ASEAN trade partners based on free trade agreements. Set out the general principles for broadening and deepening ASEAN's engagement with its free trade area partners. Using as a basis the ASEAN+1 free trade areas.
ND the template that would be developed taking into account the East Asia Free Trade Area and Comprehensive Economic Partnership for East Asia initiatives, with a view to considering appropriate next steps for further regional economic integration. Socio-cultural cooperation. Let's start with the Korea goal. The goal in South Korea is to upgrading the relationship with ASEAN to the level of the four surrounding powers, means increasing cooperation not only economically but in all areas including foreign affairs and national security. In the year 2018, the currently accounts of Korea of trade with ASEAN is 13.2%, and Korea is trying to increase trade with ASEAN. Korea is the second highest trade in Asia. Korea is also doing a lot of communication with ASEAN to reduce its high trade dependence on China. Japan make a goal about strongly relations with ASEAN countries, and currently Japan is a member of ASEAN. Japanese companies are shifting their investments away from China and increasingly setting their sights on the ASEAN region as a result of growing tensions between the two Asian powers.
The ASEAN region is not only big in area, but also very important in economic, political, and in science and technology. All the ASEAN member countries are China's friendly close neighbors. Since the 1990s, China-ASEAN relations have developed on a sound track, with increasingly close political ties.
ASEAN+3 foreign ministers reject trade wars. The foreign ministers of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, as well as China, South Korea, and Japan have stressed the importance of pushing back against rising trade protectionism. The ministers also expressed the need for cooperation against the threat of global trade wars between major economies. The comments come as the US is embroiled in trade spats with China and close allies including the European Union. The sides have imposed tit-for-tat tariffs on billions of dollars worth of goods. Washington escalated the trade row this week by saying it was considering more than doubling its proposed tariffs on a range of Chinese imports worth around $200 billion.